And hey there, Facebook, CBS 21's meteorologist Chris Nallen here once again with your weekend update. And obviously, it's been a lot going on in the tropics. Here locally, well, we've been talking about warm and humid weather, abnormally warm conditions, I should say, over the last couple of days here. Very warm, muggy weather here across south central Pennsylvania. But what's happening, though, is we have that warm flux of air coming in from the south, and it will continue to be on the warm side over the next several days. But what else is going on is what's going on in the tropics. That's the bigger weather story. Let me show you what's going on quickly here across the northeast, here across south central PA. We're in the dry zone. We've been quiet. It stays quiet. Maybe a sporadic shower this evening. Not a big deal. Let's show you the bigger story. Obviously, locally, it's the weather with the warmer temperatures, the warmer weather temperatures, the warmer conditions outside. 78 in Harrisburg this evening, nearing 80 further south. Okay, so here is the other bigger picture, what's going on down south and to our east, and that is, of course, what's happening over the tropics. There it is. That is right now Hurricane Jose. That is a Cat 1 hurricane. But that's not the only thing to keep an eye on. It's what's happening down further south and east. This is strengthening Hurricane Maria, now a Cat 1 hurricane that will likely continue to strengthen and head towards the Leeward Islands, which is right here, and then eventually up towards, again, towards the Caribbean here into, say, Puerto Rico, and then eventually possibly outside of the Dominican Republic. Again, these are areas that could be hit with another hurricane, an area that has been already hit by Irma. Now we're watching Hurricane Maria, which could be really impacting the Leeward Islands and then eventually heading deeper into the Caribbean. So what that means for us, still too far out. Our focal point is what's happening up here, and that is Jose. So let's kind of bring you back to Jose and show you what's happening here. Currently, Jose, it is a Cat 1 hurricane. It continues to churn over the Atlantic Ocean all by itself here. You have Bermuda, which is out here, and then, of course, the East Coast. You have the Carolinas up towards the Virginia coastline here, the Delmarva Peninsula through Maryland, Delaware, up to Jersey, New York, and up towards the New England states. Currently, the wind's at about 90 miles per hour, so it is, again, a Cat 1 hurricane, not a major hurricane. It is a minimal hurricane, but it is still a hurricane. So watch what happens over time. It continues as a Cat 1 hurricane, but it stays far enough offshore here, latest projections by the National Hurricane Center, to avoid direct impact as of right now. However, it does come pretty close here towards the east end of Long Island, up towards, say, Rhode Island, and, of course, Boston, Mass., and out towards, say, Cape Cod. By the time it gets up here, it's going to be a tropical storm. Nonetheless, what it's going to do anywhere from North Carolina up towards Maine, it's going to be bringing on severe rip currents here, rip tide, and waves and beach erosion right along the shore. So we already have warnings for some extreme weather right along the shore up towards, say, New Jersey, where there's going to be some coastal erosion. There's going to be beach erosion here. Again, a direct hit, not likely as of right now with this storm for the immediate East Coast. However, it will bring in, again, high waves and, of course, the concern of rip currents and beach erosion for the eastern seaboard. It may even bring some rain and some wind to south central PA Tuesday afternoon into the evening. So we have to keep a very close eye on this. Again, not a huge storm, not a hard-hitting storm. It's going to be more of a ocean kind of coastal system that wreaks havoc across the immediate coastline. Nonetheless, we could all relate to the mid-Atlantic coastline from Ocean City right up through Ocean City, Maryland, Ocean City, New Jersey, and Atlantic City up towards New York, Long Island, and out towards New England. So keeping a very close eye on this. Let's show you what else is happening here with the wind field. This is what we call the wind field. Hurricane force winds noted by the red and orange. Tropical storm force winds noted by the yellow. As we head through Sunday into Monday, Sunday night into Monday, notice it's not really windy along the immediate shoreline. The tropical storm force winds coming very close here into Long Island, out towards southeastern Connecticut into Rhode Island, and then also the southwestern or southeastern tip, of Massachusetts. That does include Martha's Vineyard out towards Cape Cod, just south of Boston here. So that's what we have to be concerned about, the wind field of tropical storm force winds possible along the immediate coastline and with that, the beach erosion and waves and rip currents. That will be the concern here. That's with Jose. Another concern is going to be Maria. Maria, to me, is a bigger focal point in the sense of severity. It's more or less the potential is there for a more severe kind of hurricane. So right now we have a pressure at 982 millibars. Of course, remember that pressure very important because that kind of gives us the intensity of the storm. Winds right now 75 miles per hour. Notice what happens by Tuesday morning at 2 a.m. It's a Cat 2. It is right around the Leeward Islands. Already here, areas were hit hard by Irma. Then becomes a Cat 3 as we head into Tuesday, late day, into early Wednesday. Very close to Puerto Rico is a major hurricane, okay? And then just north of, say, the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, and up around, say, Haiti as well. So we're going to be seeing this storm just north of these areas, and then eventually into the British Isles here. So, again, we're going to keep a very close eye on Maria, as it could bring in some dangerous weather in and around the Caribbean, and then points to the north and to the west. Now, the thing is, as of right now, a lot of the models do want to bring this further to the north and to the west, but a majority, as of right now, want to steer it out to sea. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that, okay? Let's steer this thing out to sea. We don't want this here, okay? We don't want any storm near us, but again, we want this to go out to sea, and a lot of the computer models here want to drive this out to sea as of right now. But again, too far out to tell. One thing we have to keep an eye on here, again, over the next couple of days. And yes, it has been a very, very, very busy tropical storm season here, hurricane season. We passed our peak, which was September, mid-September. So now we are passing the peak of hurricane season, but nonetheless, hurricane season goes through November, so we still have to keep a very close eye on what's happening in the tropics. So much going on here. Let's go back to Jose, though. There is Jose. Again, this is at Sunday. This is tonight. Offshore here. This is our RPM model. There are several models that we look at, as you know, several models, not all of which are in agreement right now. But we have Hurricane Jose here offshore, 11 o'clock tonight. This is the RPM model. What it does is it brings it up further and further up towards the northwest. Here it is. Close, very close to the North Carolina coastline, the Outer Banks here. Some shower and some tropical storm force winds very close to the Carolinas here. That is 9:30 p.m. on Monday. This one model, though, brings it a little closer. Look at that. Brings rain, brings possible tropical storm force winds into the Delmarva, brings some rain even as far to the north and west as Philadelphia, Lancaster County. We see some showers. This, again, is one of our models doing this. Other computer models not doing this, okay? So you got to keep in mind, it's one of those things that could teeter-totter back and forth. Keep in mind, Tuesday into Wednesday, we could see some kind of activity, whether it's just clouds, whether it's some showers, and some breezy conditions. Notice, there it is, 6:30. This is on Tuesday. Again, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., bringing in some outer bands, some showers of what will be tropical storm Jose at that point, what the forecast is. So again, the heaviest stuff still staying here further to the east. But nonetheless, we want to keep an eye on this because it could completely just go away from us and just bring in some breezy conditions and some clouds. This model wants to bring it in a little closer. So there it is, folks. We are keeping an eye on the weather, obviously, in the tropics. And locally here, it's all been about those warm, humid conditions. And you can see the next several days, again, keeping an eye on Jose here Tuesday. But then after that, we get a lull in the weather department. In fact, high pressure really starts to build in towards the weekend, and we could be talking about just nothing but sunshine and temperatures again above the average as we head into the next several days. So obviously, lots going on in the weather department. It's been a very busy, yes, tropical season for sure. We continue to keep an eye on Hurricane Jose and also now Hurricane Maria. Also Tropical Depression Lee that looks to weaken over the next couple of days. So we have to keep an eye on the tropics. And, of course, we have you covered on all angles. And South Central PA, as of right now, for the next 24 hours, looking pretty quiet. So stay with us here from the CBS 21 First Warning Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Nallen here. We'll have more coming up as we head into the evening and more coming up on CBS 21 News at 10 and 11. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and take care.